Right, so I'm just up. So, I just finished watching the um oh God, Amanda Seals and Shannon the club Shay dude. I just finished watching their and Shannon Sharpe. I'm sorry. I just finished watching like their interview or whatever. And as you watch it, they were kind of like butting heads, like in a classy way, but you could see that they were bumping heads or whatever. And I could see like both of their sides or their point of views or whatever. However, I will say that Shannon kind of started it. I know that Amanda Seals did like a video saying that he played in her face, and I didn't really watch it. I just seen like a little clip or whatever. But I can kind of feel what she was saying because he initially, like, she was speaking about her diagnosis of autism. And like Shannon, he was like, well, just because you see things differently doesn't mean that you're on the spectrum and or off the spectrum, or you know what I'm saying. And just because this is this doesn't mean you this. And like, was you like diagnosed with it? Like he was really like questioning this diagnosis that she already stated that she had. And I think that kind of like set like the tone of defensiveness for her, which is understandable. So the other thing, which and she didn't say anything about like that, but she did correct him or say something to him when she was speaking in regards to her experience with the R word in school or whatever. With the teacher, she felt like the teacher was being the R word towards her, and Shannon, he kind of like he was just like, do you really think it was that? You know what I'm saying? Questioning her again about something. That was her experience. And I do get what he was saying because her issue was that, the teacher wasn't happy with her correcting her. And she felt like it was the R word. But he was just like, growing up as a child, like we couldn't correct any adults. That was always unacceptable, regardless of which race you were or whatever. And I understood what he was saying. However, I think it would have been better if he would have just said that instead of questioning her experience and like, well, do you really think it was this? Or maybe it was just this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're the interviewer. If someone is sharing their experience with you, you just let them share their experience with you. And you know what I'm saying? Not try to challenge or question that because that was her experience. And she did correct him on that, and I loved it. However, there was okay, my bad, I'm back. So yeah, as I was saying, there was one thing that I didn't like when she did correct him, and one thing that she spoke about in high regards to herself is how she studied. Oh God, what kind of word is that? I'm sorry, I'm a little tipsy. How she studied African American literature, I think, or history or something like that. But she majored in that. Okay. So when she corrected Shannon Sharpe, I would expect her to know better than to use this word with him because okay, you've studied African American history or culture or whatever it is that she majored in, something to do with that. So I would expect her to know better because what she stated to him when he kind of questioned her about her experience with the R word with her teacher was the word that she used with him was combative. And okay, come on, Amanda. You know what I'm saying? Like you see this big athletic, athletically built, African American man. We have to be so careful with certain words like combative and aggressive and volatile. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't necessarily mean physical. However, when it comes to African American men, most of the time it's interpreted as physically volatile or combative or aggressive. So we have to be very careful with the words that we use. So I don't know if she did that intentionally or not, but I was just like, that was a cringe moment for her to use that word. But I'm still proud that she, spoke up about her experience and him questioning it. So I was like, you know what? Like, I really like Amanda. You know what I'm saying? I'm not but I'm like feeling her. She's so intelligent. I had to like pause the interview several times so I could Google stuff that she was talking about, you know what I'm saying? And I liked it and she made sense. And she kind of put me in the mind, mind of me, the way she explained herself. But as the interview, got more in depth, one thing I will, give Shannon Sharpe, um, kudos for is after she used that with him, and which he did, and which I appreciated. He did correct her and ask her not to use that word or whatever with him, and just understand that he had a different opinion. But okay, my bad. I keep stopping the video. Sorry, but what I was saying was what I did like with Shannon Sharpe was after she used the word combative with him, like he made sure that any time, any other times that he asked her questions about something that he used a softer term, which was great, so even though that word that she used, combative, I felt like that was, definitely inappropriate for the conversation. He took that into consideration and made sure, that he spoke to her in a softer tone. He still tried her a little bit throughout the interview, but he would kind of like catch himself and he wasn't as cocky with it as he was originally or whatnot. So yeah. So as I continue to watch the interview, because like I'm like, damn, like I'm really feeling Amanda again. You know what I'm saying? Like she's so fucking intelligent. But she started telling the story of a Black Emmy party or something like that. And she was saying how, she went to the party and she was stopped at the door. They were like, you're not on the guest list. You can't come in, this, and the other. So she ran into, two different people that were like, no, come in, or whatever. So she went in and then she got escorted out by security. Now, and she felt as though she wasn't protected and, that situation, this, that, and the other, which I can understand that. However, I will say this. At the end of the day, put effort into protecting yourself. Like, if you're not invited and they're telling you no at the door continuously and somebody actually physically tried to stop you from going in, don't go in because it may not be that great, And, she, felt as though she was the victim in that situation or whatever. But I kind of feel like she put herself in that situation because it's kind of like, what did you think was going to happen? So I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe she does kind of like take things the wrong way. And then a lot of things that she was speaking of, she was the victim in the situation. Now, here's the thing. I'm not mad at that. I completely understand. Like sometimes in life, shit, I live a life where, you know what I'm saying? I'm just this nice, wonderful person for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And people try to take advantage of that. And when they can't, then, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden I'm this bad person, this, that, and the other. But really I'm the victim in the situation, So I can kind of understand her for that part. It may not be completely impossible to be the victim in every situation. Like it really can happen, especially if you're a kind-hearted person and you're a nice person and like a people pleaser, as she described herself at the beginning of the interview. That can definitely happen. But again, I do feel like there were certain situations where she kind of like, put herself in that position or whatnot. But overall, I would say that I'm feeling her. Like I didn't know who the hell Amanda Seales was. However, when I seen her, I knew who she was. I'm like, hey, that's the chick from Insecure. She was like my favorite character on the show. So, yeah. So that's just my thoughts on the interview. It was definitely tense. Like you could see the tension in between those two. You know what I'm saying? And she did not hold back. Like she really gave it to him. And so yeah, those are my thoughts. So I want to hear your thoughts. So feel free to comment. I don't know which social media platform I'm going to post this to, but like if it's on Facebook, feel free to leave a comment. If it's a little long winded, that's fine. Make a video, rather you show your face or not. I'm just curious to know your opinions of the interview and how you felt about it. All right, so yeah, let's have a nice little adult conversation. Mature and respectful. Let me know your thoughts. All right.